All right, well, it happened. The Flyers have traded Jake Voracek in exchange for Cam Atkinson from the Columbus Blue Jackets, 1-for-1. Reported this morning as the second round was going on, you saw Atkinson was rumored to come to Philly, and Jake was going back. So obviously, it's tough for me because I know, as I said before, Jake is my favorite Flyer. Was my favorite Flyer, I should say now. Now that he's gone, goes back to Columbus. He's one of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with this team when I was like 10. That's why 93 is at the end of my channel name. I have his jersey on here. I got his bobblehead is up here. I have a little figurine of him as well. I don't know what it was. He was just such a dominant player. When I used to have partial season tickets with my dad in the 2014-15 season when he had 81 point year, and I just fell in love with him. He was just such a good player, so dominant with Claude Giroux. Obviously it came time for the Flyers. They moved Jake. But again, there's just no other player that I absolutely loved watching in a Flyers uniform. That was just how I love with Jake. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but it's like if you watch the Flyers in the 2010 era when they went to the Cup final, it's like losing Richards and Carter, or like when Briere left, when Danny Briere got traded and everything. It's like that. So it sucks, but it is what it is. The Flyers, they get Cam Atkinson, who's actually a really solid player, if I'm being honest with you. The contracts are a little bit different, so the Flyers do save some money. As of right now, they have 12.4 in cap space. So Atkinson has 4 years left on his deal at $5.8 million, which is still a good chunk of change left on his contract. They are the same age, Jake and Atkinson. Atkinson is a couple months older. They're both 32 years old. But as I said, Atkinson, again, the contract is a little bit better, but in the next coming years, it's probably going to be worse. But I'm not too sure if that contract is going to be comparable to Jake in the next handful of years. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. As for Atkinson, I still think he's a really solid player. I'm not necessarily worried about him rebounding. I know there's been he kind of has battled some injury at times. But a couple years ago, he put up 69 points in the 2018-19 season, 41 goals. The year after that, he, as I said, battled injury, only played 44 games, put up 12 goals for 26 points. In this past year, in 2021, 56 games, 15 goals, 34 points. So again, I still think he can rebound. I still think he's that winger that can put up 15, 20, even 25 goals. I'm not worried about that. I know he's going to come here. He's going to play with some good players. And again, I think the Flyers, they added a very solid winger back. But again, I think if you were really looking at any other guy the Flyers could have traded Jake for, whether it was Tarasenko, obviously Atkinson in this case, I think there were a lot of guys you probably could have looked at injury-wise and said, okay, maybe these guys don't rebound. But then again, you always have that thought with the injury thing. So the Flyers are obviously taking chances. They're changing up the core. They're changing up a bunch of stuff. Or I should say the core. But anyway, Jake is gone. Goes back to Columbus. Just some unbelievable moments I've met Jake a handful of times. He's such a nice guy. I have his jersey hung up in my room behind my TV. I remember that day like it was yesterday when he called me over behind the rink at practice, and signed my jersey, took a picture with him and everything. It was just unbelievable. But it is what it is, and Cam Atkinson gets traded for Jake Voracek 1-for-1. Let me know your guys' thoughts below on the trade. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.